back. Come back, me. There we go. All right, Vesper. Let me remove that. Okay.
What were you showing?
Oh, I was just showing that the live news. It was a news stream, a live stream.
Mm.
But it was showing a whole bunch of violence. What's going on with Venezuela.
Mm.
Venezuela's in big shit. They're getting lots of bullets from Trump. A lot of bullets. So,
Hmm.
yeah, so you know why your message was blocked? Because we don't say the P word on here. We use Arabs.
Because you feel like it's anti-Semitic or something.
No, because it's fake. We don't like to do fake shit on. I don't like to do fake shit on my channels.
It's a fake identity or something.
No, it's a fake. You name it, a fake ethnicity, a fake everything. It's all fake.
Hmm.
Doesn't
Well,
exist.
you said
Yeah, it doesn't have a history of existing. All of a sudden, it was just made up.
you said we don't recognize Nazis and other Jew killers.
Right. In other words, Arabs, um, zealous Muslims, Hamas, Iran's regime, and what's that other place called? The Houthis. All these people are Jew killers, just like the Germans were. No
Yeah,
difference.
like what about like white supremacists
We're not,
that
I don't care. I don't care.
Chuck
I'm
Holton has
talking
been
about Jew
associated
killers.
with?
We're talking about Jew killers, right? You want to change the subject?
Well, anti-Semitic like stuff from white supremacists that Chuck Holton has been associated with. The
I don't.
political cesspool, and
I know nothing about that.
well, I'll post something about it then.
No, I haven't. I don't have anything to post about it. I just posted what I have.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
Okay, well, bring it. Bring it up. Let me know. Bring it up. Find
Let's
it.
see. One moment.
One moment, please. But it doesn't matter because Chuck Holton is a friend of Israel.
Well, there's Nazis that support Israel.
Yeah, but you know what? If you want, every time we talk about something and you change the subject, it just goes running circles. So you're saying that it's
They
okay. You're saying that it's okay. That that Nazis support Israel, and it's okay that Nazis are Jew killers at the same time. You see, it doesn't make
no,
sense. Yeah,
not it's not
I said
okay.
to you that Nazis are Jew killers, and you said, "Oh, but there's some Nazis in Israel." So it your answer doesn't
No,
really
they support.
there's no justification. You're not providing a defense for when I say Nazis are Jew killers.
You're saying they support Israel.
Yeah, well, show me some. I don't know who supports Israel specifically because I don't know who you're talking about.
White nationalists in general, they see it as like a model ethno state
Oh yeah,
and stuff like
and you
that.
have proof of this.
Yes.
Okay, let's see it.
Christian Zionists, right? They're
You said
anti-Semites. They
white
ultimately
Christian Zionists are not
also,
anti-Semites at all.
yeah, they are.
All right, well, I don't know, man. You're not making any sense with your claim. So
So in the end times,
if you want me to be able to process it, then I need to be able to read something.
all right, it's very simple.
No, I
In
need to
Revel
read
in the book of
something.
Revelation, in
Book
the
of
end
Revelation
times,
is made up stuff. I'm thinking of you.
it's
Maybe
what they
bring it.
believe.
Maybe bring up some real evidence of anything.
It's what
I don't
Christians
care what
believe.
they believe. It doesn't matter. They support
It's why they
Israel.
support. It's why they support Israel,
So
even though it.
what? So what? You know that the book of Revelation is nonsense. They support Israel for whatever reason. Fine, because whatever they think is going to happen, because of the book of Revelation is not going to happen. You know that, and I know that.
Yeah, but
So it doesn't
that's
matter.
not that's besides the point. That they can do it for anti-Semitic reasons. They believe when Jesus comes back,
Jesus doesn't. Jesus is also a myth. Jesus doesn't
I
doesn't
it's,
exist. So we don't
they
we don't
it's,
we don't give them the satisfaction of presupposing that Jesus is an actual real person.
it's besides the
We don't
point.
do that. So we don't talk about
I'm
Jesus
just
because
explaining. I'm
we
just
speak
explaining
about
why they support
facts.
Israel.
Yeah,
I'm
but you
explaining
don't
why they
have to
support
explain.
Israel
Thank you. No,
for anti-Semitic
thank you
reasons.
very much. But it's irrelevant, and it's
How is that irrelevant?
definitely it's because it's not a major thing.
It
It's not a
is.
major issue.
They're the main supporters of Israel
Okay, good.
in America.
No, you're not. No, they're not.
What like what?
I'm disputing everything you say until you give me show me something that backs up what you are telling me.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm very happy though that Israel's going in and just absolutely annihilating and their enemies. I love it. Unfortunately, it's probably going to happen that the hostages that the Arabs are holding are maybe not going to survive. But then
Why
I
would you be
predicted
happy about
that I
genocide?
predicted that a long time ago.
Why would you ever be happy about genocide?
Who? Why would I ever be happy about genocide? I have no reason to be happy about genocide.
Well, you just expressed. You said they're happy that they're exterminating everyone.
I said I'm happy that they
They're
exterminated the
wiping out their enemies.
I said yes, the Hamas leaders are the enemies,
Yeah, they're not
right?
just going after. They're not just going after Hamas leaders.
Oh, really? Who else they get?
They bomb hospitals and schools continually.
Well,
Oh,
now I know.
they're hiding
Okay,
underneath
if you
them.
if you're just gonna troll me, dude, that's fine. We'll have a troll session. I can troll you right back.
You don't believe that?
I know
That they
that's not
bomb?
true. I know that's not true. Don't play games with me. I wasn't born. I was born at night, Vesper, but not last night.
Oh, man, we got some deprogramming to do on you, bro.
All right, go ahead.
No.
But you can do if you can show me convincing evidence of something that you claim and that I
I tried to.
don't agree, then I'm ready to change my mind. Come on,
I
go ahead.
tried to give you evidence, but about why Christians support Israel, even though it's
I
for
don't care
anti-Semitic
why
reasons.
Christian. It doesn't matter why Christians support Israel.
But it's for
It's
anti-Semitic
not my
reasons.
business. Why? That's fine. Not a problem. I can understand anti-Semitism. Who would not want to challenge a cult that does genital mutilation as a ritual ceremony on every little baby boy uh, when he's just barely a week old? Tell me.
Have you heard Jews
Uh,
refer
uh,
to
uh,
people in Gaza as the Amalekites from the
no, I don't.
Bible?
I don't play fictional games like that.
Exactly, like they believe fictional things, which is leading to great harm. God commands all the
Yeah, well,
Amalekites to be wiped out.
The Muslims believe fictional things that's leading to immense harm, incredible harm.
Islam is more morally progressive than Judaism and Christianity, though.
Yeah, troll. Israel
On
Islam is the most oppressive religion I know.
not compared to Judaism and Christianity
Show
on
me.
paper.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to give me some modern day examples, bud. I can give you some. I can give you today's examples of Muslim an Islamic oppression right now. I'd like you
Yeah,
to
but that's
give me a Jewish oppression example right now.
but that's because there's no Jewish or Christian countries like uh, theocracies, right? They're secular. They live in secular liberal democracies. They don't live in Christian theocracies yet, or
Who?
Jewish
Who doesn't
ethno
live in?
states yet.
What are you talking about?
Muslims live in largely theocratic nations. That's why they seem worse. But if you go back to the
Well,
Dark
why don't
Ages,
you join the Muslims and turn the United States into a theocratic nation if you like it so much?
no,
Oh no
it
no
would
no
it
no
would
no
be
no no
better.
no
It would be
no.
better than the Christian nationalist agenda, who would
Well,
take us back to the dark.
okay, you got to assume that the Christian nationalists actually run your country right now, right?
I know that's a problem.
Right. So you think Islam would be better than the government you have now?
What they want to do, yeah.
Well, what is it they want to do that is so terrible that you'd rather have an Islamic government? Jesus Christ.
More regressive. It's more regressive.
Yeah, but you're
Like,
making claim after claim and without a backup. If you can't qualify something, then don't make a claim,
okay,
or
so I'll
make
give
a
you
claim
clear
and
cut
say that
examples.
it's only a claim. I don't know anything about it, and I'm just making a claim.
I'll give you clear cut examples. Islam has less harsh rules for slavery.
Oh, for fuck's
Um,
sake! Come on,
they
man.
support higher education,
Oh,
right?
Jesus.
Uh,
Yeah, really? Afghanistan? Go for it. Tell me about Afghanistan. That's like the most Islamic
compared to
country you can come up
Christianity
with.
on paper, right?
Tell me about his. Compare Afghanistan to any Christian nation. Go ahead.
There's no Christian nation, period, except maybe England or something. They're all secular liberal
You just said.
democracies. They're
You
not.
just
They're not.
said that.
There's
You
no
just
Christian
said. You
theocracies in the
just
world.
said that the United States is a Christian nation, and now you tell me, and then you say there's no Christian nation. So compare the United States to Afghanistan.
No, it's a
Yes,
Christian
yes, yes,
nation by
yes, yes,
demographic.
yes.
It's a Christian nation by demographic
I
rather
don't
than
care.
design.
Compare the United States to Afghanistan.
That's a
And,
false
and
comparison.
no, just take into account that with President Trump, the United States is a Christian nation. Okay, just
Talking about what they want to turn it into.
that
What
is
they
a
want to
fact.
change it into is not what it is right now, right?
All right, you just lost the argument. I don't even
It's a
quite
they
know
don't
where you were
support
going
second.
with it. Well, I think you're making some kind of a claim, but I
So
don't know
America
what.
is a secular liberal democracy. Christians don't support those three things. They don't want that. They want a theocracy, right?
Then how come your
They want a
how
monarchy.
come your Secretary of State is a Christian? How come your ambassador to Israel is a Christian? How
That's just
come the
demographics.
Speaker of the House is a Christian?
That's
How
demographics, not the
come
government.
the leader of the Senate the Senate Democrats is a Jew? How come? Come on, man, stop it. How come the Secretary of War is a Christian?
That's demographics. That's not the government itself. Of course, they have a political power here
When the
as a
Secretary of War
as a
says,
voting bloc.
I believe in Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ runs my life, then don't tell me that's not a Christian nation.
I mean, what do you mean by that?
Well, you
There's a lot of Christians in government. That doesn't
said
make
it.
the
I mean,
government itself
if you were
Christian.
watching the Carolyn Levitt press briefing, she was wearing a cross around her
Yeah, of course
neck,
they want to put
and
it.
she is the direct spokesperson for the President of the United States. So please, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, they want to put that in your face and change it into a Christian monarchy, right? It wasn't created as a Christian nation at its founding. Our founders said the exact opposite. They said this nation is in no way founded upon the Christian religion.
So you're referring to a document that's written at like before 1800, like in the
You think? Do you
1700s.
think?
You're referring
Well, let
to
me
that
ask you.
document, and you're saying to me that the nation of the United States in 1789 or whenever the
76.
fuck, 1796 was not a Christian nation. Okay, I absolutely 100% agree with you, but that was a letter written 200 years ago. Now, the America of 2025, were it to have, problems with Mohammedans, I can guarantee you that no American president will write a letter to a Muslim country saying America is not a Christian nation.
Yeah,
Today,
they'll lie.
today, they will never.
They lie
Today,
about it all the time. Yeah, they don't support
because
separation
today
of church.
America is a
You think?
Christian
You think?
nation.
You think Christians support separation of church and state?
There is no
Hell
separation of
no.
church. There is no separation of church and state in America.
There is, or there has been.
There's zero America. What are you doing, dude? They pray all the time. They praise Jesus all the time.
I know they violate their
In
law.
Congress, and even in press briefings and stuff. So
I know they're in violation of the law
yeah,
of the
right. And
land.
who's charging? Who's pressing charges? No one.
They should.
Well, they should. Yeah. Well, if they should and they don't, then it doesn't matter.
That's because it's a soft. It has. We have soft secularism rather than hard, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
It's was set up by deists most primarily.
Yeah, perhaps, but I think it should be an atheist government. All governments should be atheist. Like the Canadian
Hell
government,
yeah.
the country I live in is essentially atheist.
Heck yeah. Although you do have a radical element of like Christian fascists over there in Canada.
Yeah, you've got everything, but essentially it's an atheist country. And I don't say that their government decisions are always, rational, but unfortunately, they're not. Some of them,
Yeah.
but
That's why it's one of the top-ranking countries in the world.
yeah, maybe,
Or a big reason, I would say.
maybe.
Yeah.
The weird thing is I very seldom ever go out like into sort of a damn crowd, like a downtown crowd.
Uh-huh.
This
You
morning,
went to a comedy club.
yeah, that was on a Saturday night.
How was it?
It was all right. It was all right. It was okay. It wasn't anything to. I wouldn't go again. But oh yes, I was downtown this morning. I had to go downtown to do something, and I hadn't been amongst a sort of the downtown crowd ever. I mean, not ever, but for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
And it was very strange to be walking along with these people who all of a sudden, they're not from my neighborhood. When I walk around my neighborhood, there's always the same people, but you kind of know them. And
Uh-huh.
it's just got a different vibe. But then you walk downtown, and there's all these different people in all these different modes and moods and rushing. Most of them are rushing or look concerned. And just an observation.
Yeah. But you felt okay?
Oh shit! Hell yeah! Absolutely.
Relatively safe because it's a largely atheist country.
Yeah, yeah, you could say that.
Atheists are only like 1% of the prison population.
There's
Here in
no
America,
atheists
at
in
least.
prison.
Yeah, they like to convert people there.
You know what? I don't see where they get their 1% because I've never ever had
Or maybe
seen a
it's
video of somebody
0.1% or
from
something.
prison who says, "Okay, I was an ex-prisoner. I've always been an atheist." I've never ever heard that a video like that. Not that it doesn't exist. I just never heard it or seen it.
They say it's not well documented, but available data is significantly lower, likely around 1 to 2% in
Available
America.
data. Have you seen? Have you?
But over here, we like to lock up everybody, so that's why it's probably higher. You know?
Well, over there, a lot of people break the law. Listen, listen. When I watched those people in, I think it was L.A. or wherever, doing those mass looting of the stores back in 2020 and probably ongoing after that, I knew then that your country is the only reason they didn't stop those people is because they were all black. And the only reason that there isn't an outcry in America about that mass looting and the destruction of the cities is because they're all black. So don't come talk to me about the white this and white supremacy that.
It's because they're black that they looted.
No, it's because they're black that they weren't apprehended and that no police. There was no mass police event. I mean, shit. They're looting a whole mall. You get squads of police in there to. It's an active criminal activity.
Well, you need like major forces to stop that kind of thing.
Call the National Guard. They could have. They should have.
They did that, didn't they? Do that?
No.
Where was that?
Look, when they loot a mall and they take
Charlottesville or
everything,
whatever.
there's no point in calling the National Guard because there's nothing in the malls anymore. Everything's been taken.
I mean, you got to be quick. You got to act on it quick. Be able to have that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that could happen here in Canada. I think the law enforcement would get so in it so quickly.
Canada has more lenient laws and like lighter prison sentences than America does.
Maybe, but we don't tolerate violence.
They emphasize rehabilitation over long-term incarceration.
That doesn't work, and it's been proven over and over again. But they still do it.
Yeah, it does. Look at the Nordic prison system. They have the lowest recidivism rate because of that.
What do you care? So if you have 100 murderers, and you say they serve the term, let's say they all serve. Let's say you got 100 prisoners sentenced all on the same day, to the same length of term. So they all serve their sentence, say 20 years or 10 years, whatever, and then they all get out. If even one of them re-offends, which in other words murders again, I don't believe that any of them should have been let out. If the recidivism for murder was 0, fine.
There's kind of a paradox where the long sentence turns them into hardened criminals in prison.
You think they went in as meek little?
They join gangs and stuff in the prison.
Come on.
Yeah, there's
Nobody
evidence
goes into
of that.
prison unless you're very, very young. Nobody goes into prison and like not streetwise and not knowing what's going on. If you're going to prison and you're an adult, you've probably been there as a juvie. So, I never, ever, ever, ever support prison rights, ever. They can rot in hell for all I care. How dare people...
Okay, so here's...
what I'm saying is, how dare people trample on my individual rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Long-term prison sentences often expose inmates to violent environments, reinforce criminal identities, and limit opportunities for rehabilitation, which can turn offenders into more hardened criminals.
Right. So there should not be any rehabilitation. If you go to
No,
jail, you're
no, there
there. That's
should.
where
That's the
you
argument that
are.
there should.
You should no. You should go to jail, stay there, accept that that's the society that you've chosen to live in, and suck it up, buttercup. Don't
So
commit
everybody should be
crimes.
given
Don't
given
commit
life-term
crimes.
sentences. You're saying?
Violent crimes, absolutely. Okay, well, not violent crimes should have very lengthy sentences, and a lifetime of probation. How about that?
Hmm.
In other words, instead somebody murders somebody, right? And let's say it's something that's not not absolutely, like, it wasn't a rape and a murder and a child and all this kind of stuff that makes it worse and worse and worse and worse, right? So they get what do people get for murder? 25 years, 20 years. You there? Am I muted? Okay, let's assume they get 20 years for murder. Let's not. Let's say this is Canada. They get 10 years for murder. From that point on, once they're released, they should be under lifetime probation. In other words, they cannot put a foot wrong for the rest of their life. Otherwise, they go back.
Okay, what if the evidence shows that increases recidivism by exposing them to hardened criminal environments, limits their rehabilitation opportunities, and fails to address underlying causes of violent behavior?
Well, okay.
You say
Then
like lifetime parole, right?
what rehabilitation services are being provided while they're locked up? There's the question. Are they learning a trade? Are they learning a skill? How are they gaining confidence to go out and live in the free world again?
They don't get any rehabilitation under
Then it's not. Then if they
retributive
get no rehabilitation, then you can't let them out.
Yeah, under a retributive justice model, they
No,
don't get
if
any
they get no,
rehabilitation.
simple. It's just simple. This is my opinion. Okay, if they get no rehabilitation, then they don't get out.
Well, that's why we should focus on. That's why we should focus on rehabilitation.
If they come out with a skill, let's say they come out as a glass blower or a bricklayer or whatever, and they can actually obtain a productive work in the free market, or even even just due to having a skill can be employed.
But you don't. But you don't even. But you don't even want that. You want lifetime sentences because of the recidivism.
Dude, you're not listening to me. You are, you know.
Even if they have skills,
when you go to prison for 10 years, and then you're on lifetime probation, that's a lifetime prison sentence. In a way,
learning a skill for the outside world is not rehabilitation. It's just
it's a step towards
setting them up to get a job so that they're less likely to turn to crime for money or something.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
It's not. It's like it can lower the crime. It can lower the crime rate, but it's not rehabilitation.
You've just told me the best thing that that they could be doing, and you're saying there's something wrong with it. They could learn a skill and go out and earn money. You're saying there's something wrong with that. I don't believe that. I don't understand that.
Well, there's a difference between rehabilitation and recidivism, right? Do you want hardened criminals out in the wild, but that don't commit crimes because they have a job or something? Like,
well, why do they commit crimes? Because they need the money, right?
But if they ever lose their job, then they turn to crime immediately.
No, they've got a skill. Don't you understand
what if they get fired? What if they get fired because they have bad behavior or something? You know?
And they're on probation, remember? So they can't. if they do something that attracts the attention of the judicial system, They go back. Then they go back in term, and they finish their life sentence.
Hmm.
Simple. Even if they get caught speeding, that's a violation of probation.
And taxpayers should be happy to pay for all of that.
All right.
Is that what you're saying?
I never said that. You said that, and I agreed.
I mean, isn't that a burden on the system? They have to have lifetime
No, it's not a
parole and
burden on the
imprisonment.
system. It's a cost of keeping the society safer and streets
Why
safer.
don't we just kill them as soon as they commit a violent crime?
You can do whatever
Then we
you
just
want. All right, that's up to you. But my system, I think, works better.
you punch somebody, death sentence to you immediately.
Really? You think? If I punch someone, they die, or they don't die? Hold on a second. Let me get straight here. What you're trying to tell me?
Now they've committed violent crime or whatever. Immediate death sentence.
No, I never said that. Violent crime. You just get taken out of society.
Otherwise,
You
they
don't get
might.
killed. You get taken out of the society. You get put into this society that you mentioned were the hardened criminals, and too bad you chose to join that society. So good luck to you.
So we punish the taxpayers for
Where
people.
do you jump? Where do you jump from criminals to taxpayers? What the fuck? That'd be ridiculous.
Somebody's got to pay for them to be taken care of.
Really?
Yeah, they got to feed them. They got to house them. They got
But
to.
they're learning skills, and in prison, when you learn a skill, you can actually work from prison.
Oh, prison labor. Okay.
No, you can work and earn a wage through having a skill that you pick up in prison. Come on, man. It's better for
Does that help
society that way.
Does that
It's
help the
better.
outside world?
It's better for it's better for society that way. Absolutely.
They can break rocks or something.
Nah, I think all the rocks are already broken by the prisoners last century.
The chain gang. They can make railroads and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah, that's popular.
They can make the high-speed rail for us.
No, they could. They could
That's what
spy. They could spy on foreign enemy countries for us.
that's what the private prison system does. Like they seek out prison people to imprison, and to make a profit off of it. And a lot of corporations hire the
People
cheap prisoners.
who want to contribute. People in prison who want to still contribute and learn a skill. They look for them.
They have a financial incentive to create the biggest prison population possible.
Good, because there's lots of fucking people who deserve to be in prison. Beautiful.
And so corporations can get cheap labor.
Yeah, it's fine. Listen, if people choose to be violent, break the law, and get themselves taken off the streets, and according to the United States Constitution, once you're a prisoner, then you are no longer no longer have the constitutional rights of individual freedom that non-incarcerated people have. You become a slave. You do become a slave. Like your rights are as
Okay.
much as a slave's rights.
So that can offset the taxpayer cost,
There
I
you
guess.
go. Exactly, because they can actually produce something with a skill that would be traded on the open market and would go towards funding the prisoners.
Would you call that slavery or indentured servitude?
Slavery, baby.
Okay.
Absolutely. Slavery. You get locked in a cell every night. What do you call somebody who's locked in a cell every night? A slave or or something else? What? Or just a prisoner?
No mercy.
What do you call a person who's locked in his cell 23 hours a day?
Somebody
And
who's
right,
imprisoned
so he's
or
not a slave.
confined.
Yeah, he's not a slave, right?
A slave is somebody who's like forced to work or something.
Who says?
Like,
Who says? You know, that's your claim. I'm saying that anybody who's got their freedoms taken away and are basically told what to do all the time by other people, and you don't have a choice not to do it, you're a slave, right? I thought that was pretty convincing, and I'm sure you did.
a slave is a person who is legally owned by another and forced to work without consent or fair compensation.
Okay, talk about a prisoner then.
Hmm.
Talk about a prisoner.
You don't think any injustice can be done against
No,
violent
I think
offenders?
anybody who's incarcerated is essentially enslaved. The difference is that I don't know what you mean by slavery. Is it for the rest of your life? But the incarceration and having slaves and having been classified or having the rights of a slave when incarcerated doesn't doesn't carry
They're no
out
longer
when you're
entitled to
released.
basic human rights and protection from abuse and fair treatment under the law.
No, they're slaves.
And that's not immoral to strip
No, it's
people
not.
of their human rights.
Of course not. I mean, it's immoral for them to have stripped other people of their human rights in order to land up in this situation. But if they thought it was okay to strip other people of their human rights, why shouldn't it be okay for the person who stripped other people of their human rights to have their human rights stripped away too? What's wrong with that?
They're inviolable. You can't get rid of them
Well, obviously
by virtue
not.
of being a human
Obviously
being.
not, because a crime was committed and perhaps a life was lost.
Cruel
So
and unusual punishment, right, is a violation of human rights.
you don't have human rights when when you're a slave.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
I mean, in prison, yeah, you do.
You don't. No, you're a slave when you're in prison.
Well, we don't endorse
We
slavery.
established that already.
We don't condone slavery. It's also against human rights.
It's not. It's part of your constitution. In fact, hold on. Let me go grab the constitution and exactly read it to you. Hold on.
It's part of our constitution. You can't deny people individual freedom, autonomy, and dignity, subjecting them to forced labor, abuse, and exploitation. That's not part of our constitution.
All right.
An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Okay, so you say it's not part of the constitution, right? Let's see. Let us see.
It was abolished by the 13th Amendment.
The 13th Amendment. Let's see.
Prohibits involuntary servitude except as punishment for a crime.
Well, that's what we're talking about, exactly that. Neither slavery nor involuntary except as punishment for crime. There you go, right there it says. Except as a punishment for crime. In other words, you can't enslave anybody. You cannot subject them to involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime. So you just read it out right there.
But involuntary servitude is not necessarily slavery. Legally,
it doesn't say. Listen, let me read it again. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. Okay?
Forced labor is not necessary. Yeah, but
Except as a
slavery.
punishment for crime. So that's it. It's very simply written.
Okay, but involuntary servitude is not slavery. It's forced labor as
It's
criminal
neither
punishment.
slavery nor involuntary service. They're not equating the two. They're saying it's either one or the other, but or both. But you cannot subject anybody to slavery or involuntary servitude unless they are being punished for a crime. In other words,
Oh, there's no
that's
slavery.
exactly what it says here. Okay, let me read the whole thing to you because I didn't. It says here, Section 1, Amendment 13, Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So, in other words, what they're saying is penal prisons and penal colonies or establishments are exempt from slavery and involuntary servitude because it's a punishment for a crime. So there you go. A prisoner is a slave, essentially. A prisoner who's being punished for a crime is a slave. Free people can never be slaves, is what it's saying. Free people can never be forced into involuntary servitude.
It's a misreading.
Oh, you've got a different version in front of you. I've got a book. It's in my book. I didn't look it up.
Yeah, but it's
I have the
when it says
Declaration
it
of
prohibits.
Independence and the Constitution of the United States actually printed in a book that I'm looking at. So, what do you mean it's a misreading?
It doesn't prohibit slavery. It prohibits forced labor in the case of crimes convicted, but it's not the exact same thing as slavery.
Do you not
I know
understand what I? It's
I know it
really
says that in there, but it
it's
doesn't
one
prohibit.
short paragraph. That's it. Why are you not? Where do you not understand what I'm reading? I'll read it again and again until. What are you nitpicking at? I can't quite understand. It says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction, right?
It literally bans slavery.
Yes. Do you agree that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction? Do you agree with that? Am I misreading that?
No.
Okay, all right. Now, I'm just going to read the whole thing. What I did was I cut out something. Now I'm just going to read the whole thing. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. That is very, very clear to me that being forced into slavery or involuntary servitude is prohibited, shall not exist within the United States, unless except as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted by the courts. So
that exception is only for involuntary servitude, not slavery.
No, it's very clear. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. That's it. It says it's very clear that it's both. How you are coming up with one doesn't really matter and the other one does is I don't know. Where do you get that from? Explain me. Explain to me how when two sides, when two options are either or, you say to me that the either one doesn't matter but the or does. How do you justify that? You can't.
You can read it into that,
I didn't
like
read into
that
it. I didn't read it.
slavery
I didn't read anything
being
into anything.
included.
I didn't read anything into anything. I just read it.
It's not written in a straightforward way like that. The exception is
So you're
only
saying
for
I read it?
involuntary
I read
swiftly.
it in a straightforward way, or what I read is written in a straightforward way?
The law itself is a
I
ban
hold
on.
on, stop it. If you're
The
gonna,
law
if
itself
you're
is a
gonna,
ban
if you're
on
gonna, if you're
slavery.
gonna, if you're gonna make a statement, and I want to go down, follow, I want to respond to your statement and follow it down the logical trail, then let us do that. But don't throw out a statement and then another totally unrelated statement and then another one like that. That's we can't have a conversation that way.
Okay,
Okay.
the amendment itself is what's banning slavery.
Correct. Except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted.
And there's no exception.
I just read it.
Huh?
I just read the exception. How can you say there's no exception? I will say to you this is my opinion. I believe that you have never ever fully read the 13th Amendment. And I invite you to go ahead and do that so we can continue this conversation in a rational manner and not nonsense. Because it's starting to sound like you're trolling me. Because nobody's that ignorant, or nobody's that combative about something that I read. I've read it like I don't know how many, a dozen times, and every time you say, "Oh, I've misread it," or "It doesn't do this," and it doesn't say that when it does. So
So,
it's a
okay,
troll.
well, I'm telling
You're
you,
trolling me.
things can be written in a
Yeah,
bad
they
way.
could be, but they're not.
You don't think laws are written ambiguously?
Let's focus on what I read. Stop, and
Well,
it's not.
you're taking a
And this is
literalist.
Amendment 13 from 1865. Okay, so stop.
Okay.
Don't stop going down the but where if maybe.
You're taking a literalist approach to the text. Oh, it literally says this, so it literally supports slavery in cases of crime.
Yeah,
It
in
does,
cases
but when
of
it doesn't,
punishment for no,
in reality, it
in
doesn't.
cases of punishment for crime, it does. Yes,
Okay, why is there no slavery then in America?
there's slavery
There isn't. Where?
in the prisons. The slaves in the
They
prisons.
aren't owned as
They
property.
are they are owned as property, my friend, while they're in the prisons. There's nothing to say you shouldn't give basic human rights to slaves without
Okay,
without
where's your
giving
proof
it
that they're owned as property
without.
in prison
There's
systems?
nothing to say you shouldn't give human rights to slaves without giving it a second thought.
They're not slaves. They're not owned as
They
property.
are slaves.
Where's the
They're
proof
owned
of
as
that?
property of the government of the United States
Where's the
while
proof
they
of that?
are imprisoned
Where's the evidence for that?
in the 13th Amendment that I just read to you a million times.
No.
Is this maybe you need to actually see the text? Is it something that
Why do
visually
they retain
are
right? Why
you
do they retain
are
the
you
right?
not able to visually understand what I'm saying? Because I'm starting to get really pissed off with you trolling me like this.
They're not stripped of their rights.
All right, all right,
They're
all
not
right, all right, all
enslaved.
right, all right. If you don't want to talk rationally, like I do, if you just want to try and trigger me with crap that you're spewing, then I'm
I'm
not
giving
interested
counter
in the
evidence.
conversation. I'm not
I'm
interested in
giving
having a conversation with this about you. I've made my I've read it countless times. I've read the same thing countless times. There's nothing you can tell me that I've misread or misunderstood because I've just read it to you. And if you cannot grasp what I've read, it's best that I try and put it on in writing so you can look at it and read it and then absorb it. Would that make better sense? Would you be able to? Would we be able to have a proper conversation then? Do you think?
Mm.
All right, I'll give it a try.
It's not literal like that. I'm telling you.
Well, I'm going to prove it is.
I guess conservatives would read it that way.
Okay.
America was founded by liberals, not conservatives.
Dude, just stop it. Just stop it. Stop. All right, here we go. Okay, do you have access to the chat? Can you see?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
I'm telling you, the exception is only for involuntary servitude.
Abolish slavery and involuntary servitude. How do you say it's only for involuntary servitude but not slavery?
That exception is only talking about that previous part of the sentence there.
Bullshit. Nonsense. No one reads it that way. No one's taught it that way.
Okay, well, it's not practiced the way you're reading anywhere.
Well, yes, it is. I don't know. What is your image of a slave? Somebody who's continuously getting whipped and kicked and beaten and abused and starved. What is your opinion?
They're not stripped.
What is your image of a slave?
They're not stripped of their rights, like human rights.
I never said slaves have to be stripped of their human rights. You got to feed them. You got to clothe them.
Human rights prohibit slavery.
You got to provide safety and security, right?
Listen, human rights prohibit slavery. If they were in prison, if they're
I think you're arguing like a child right now. You're arguing like somebody who's in high school.
No.
Yes, you absolutely. I've got to go grab my coffee. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. I got so caught up in our conversation that I didn't realize that I'd actually poured it out quite a while back, and I just hadn't brought it in for some reason or other. So that was the 13th
Article
Amendment.
4.
That's the 13th Amendment.
Okay, well, nobody is stripped of their human rights in prison.
That's the 13th Amendment in short. Like that, I mean, that's basically it. And there's nothing more to discuss other than
if you're right,
than what I posted. That's it. Okay, because
if you're right,
that's what's in my book. Nothing else is in my book.
Okay, let's say you're right. Let's say you're right. If that's right, that's a huge problem because it's stripping people of their human right to not be enslaved. Article 4 of the Human Rights Declaration.
Everybody has a human right to not be attacked and killed and shot and stabbed and robbed, and everybody has a human right there too, right? Do they, or do they not?
Yeah, right to life and all that stuff.
So if somebody kills another person, what makes you think that person should have the same human rights as the person that he killed?
Because they're inviolable. They can't.
Yeah, but if they're inviolable, then how do you explain the dead person? Whose human
Just because
rights,
somebody violates someone
who also had human rights that are inviolable. So I mean, come on.
Like you're saying that if someone violates someone else's human rights, theirs should be taken away in prison.
Yes. No, I wouldn't say their human rights should be taken away, but their freedoms should absolutely be taken away.
Well, it's central to the argument about if they're enslaved or not, because that would violate the human right.
No, it wouldn't.
An article.
No. Being a slave, just being a slave doesn't violate a human right, because I mean, I guess in some way it does in old thinking. But being a slave, in other words, being a prisoner in the United States judicial system, Your class, in my word, if you just swap the word prisoner for slave, you still have the same thing. You don't have beaten, starving people. You still have. In fact, they should never have used the word prisoners. They should just kept the word slave for people who are in prison. It, it's that's how essentially that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying people should be brutally hunted down and or whatever. I'm just saying they should be classified as slaves and treated as prisoners like you expect them to be treated. That's what I'm saying.
So, under certain circumstances, you're saying it should be legally allowed to own another person and force them to work without consent
No, no,
or fair compensation.
the state owns the person who is the criminal serving his sentence in prison. Yeah,
So, under certain
all
circumstances,
circumstances. If you're in prison, the state owns you, or whatever, federal, the government, the country owns you, whatever, the county owns you, whatever you're in, wherever you're incarcerated, you're a slave in that little. You're a slave of in the community that has enslaved you or put you in a cell, locked you up. Once you've been charged and convicted of a crime. You take yourself off the streets if you go and do something really stupid that hurts other people.
okay, well, in America, we don't do that. They, prisoners retain their legal rights. They're not owned by anyone, and their forced labor is tied to a criminal sentence rather than lifelong ownership or exploitation.
Well, I've never ever once. Uh,
That's what slavery
I never
includes.
said to you. In fact, you know what? I don't think you're listening to me. So I'm not even really all that interested in carrying on talking about this because
Prisoners in America are not
you are not
slaves.
you are not listening to what I'm saying. All you're doing is preaching like a pastor on the street, like a street preacher. You don't know what you don't know what you haven't thought about what you're saying. So what you're saying makes no sense to me. And
Are prisoners slaves in America or not? Yes or no?
yes.
No, they're not. Definitionally not.
You can ask me a question and I give you an answer and tell me there's only one answer. Come on, dude, stop it.
Well, I'm telling you why they're not. I'm telling you why
Otherwise
they're
I'll have to
not.
slap your wrist.
What?
I will slap your wrist. You naughty boy. You're trying to I don't know what you're trying to do, but it's fun. You're trying to play with wordplay. I don't know. Huh, I don't know what you're trying to do.
Maybe you can read it better.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe just think a little bit before you say something. Have a plan to defend it. If somebody
It's not.
before you say something and you know somebody's going to call you out, have a plan to defend it.
Okay, so my counter is they are not treated as slaves.
How was
They retain their.
okay? Fine. I'm with you. Fair enough. That's the end of the conversation.
Okay. You would like them to be though.
No,
That would
no.
be.
The difference is when my image of treating someone like a slave is different to your image of treating somebody like a slave. That is the difference.
I got you.
That's
I got you.
that's how.
You have a different.
That's where we
You
got
got a
to.
different definition.
Yeah, we got to a point where we we crossed. We have a crossroads.
I got you. I understand you now.
Yeah.
Like they're metaphorically treated as slaves because their freedoms are restricted and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like freedom to move around outside of the
Yeah.
prison.
Exactly. Yeah, like when told when to eat, when told when to go to sleep. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
When told when you can watch TV, when told when you can't watch TV, when told
Yeah.
when you can speak. I mean, can you imagine living that life and not thinking that you're a slave to something?
You definitely feel like one,
Yeah.
or like a military, like you're in a military colony or something.
Oh my god, yeah. Fuck. Or worse. Military colonies are they get breaks and they have time off.
Yeah. The sergeant comes in and like kicks you out of your bed and stuff. Stand up, soldier. Give me 20. Drop and
Yeah,
give me
that's
20.
fine. But on the weekends they go and they drink their faces off. With,
Yeah.
party. Go
Yeah, they definitely don't
try
get
do
that.
that. Try do that in prison on
They
the
definitely
weekend.
don't get to go to the local whorehouses and stuff like that.
Whereas the soldiers, the whores come to them.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, I really like discussing things and taking it all the way through to a pleasant understanding.
yeah,
And I thank you for that. I thank you for your patience in not running away
no,
when I told you to run away.
no problem.
All right, so I guess this is the room. I'm just gonna, this is gonna be
I
the
think
room that I use.
my whole thing is humanitarianism. That we should treat people in a humane, ethical way, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. I consider myself a humanist first, and then an atheist second.
Same here.
But
Because like there's plenty of religious humanists that I can get along with perfectly fine. They're just like rare or something. They're not as common as the conservative ones.
I think I disagree with you. I think most people who are just call themselves
Or haven't thought
religious
about it.
because they've always been around it and it's always been generations, but they're not
Yeah,
really religious. They just identify with a particular religion.
that might
I
be
don't
true.
think
Yeah,
those are people who we should be concerned about.
that might be true. Like they haven't put much thought into it. They're just kind of going
Yeah,
along
they
with
just
the.
it's the tradition. It's like some people have a tradition of dancing a certain way with a certain group with a certain dress. And they've always done it like the Scottish
Yeah,
dancing and stuff. But
they're
I,
largely going along to get along
yeah,
with the tribe, right?
yeah, because that's what you're taught.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Don't stand out. Don't stand out, or you'll get hammered down, right? Like a nail that sticks out or something.
yeah. Oh, if you do get hammered down, though, get up and get up and try again. So,
Pick yourself up by the
yeah,
bootstraps.
it works. It's a circular thing,
What are you, weak, soy boy?
right?
Funny thing about that is meat prices are going up in America, and um,
Oh, everything's fucking intensely expensive here in
it's like because of
America.
Trump's tariffs and stuff like that.
I don't
So it's
blame
like,
Trump. I don't blame Trump's tariffs for anything. To be honest with you.
well, they think it's going to have. They're arguing that it's going to have long-term benefits. It's all going to turn around at some
I
point,
don't think people don't. I don't think people know what they're talking about when they argue the tariff thing because they don't know. They absolutely don't know. And you know very well that sometimes when there's a change for the better, there's a turnaround where things might go a little bit wonky, maybe a little bit worse, but
Yeah,
but ultimately, not it shouldn't be ultimately. It should be pretty quick. It should start. Everything should start stabilizing, and prices should. At
that's what
least
they're saying. They're
money
saying,
should have
hang.
more value. I guess that's what I should be saying.
They're saying, hang on. It's gonna take effect and change. But it's just the way it is. It's just funny. It's because the way it is right now. It's like it's gonna turn people into soy boys. They're gonna have to turn to eat like vegetables and stuff. The thing that the
People are
right
already
like
soy boys.
fears the most: bugs and soybeans or whatever. They just went after some Korean farmers that make soybeans or something. They like ice busted them or something.
Oh, Korean farmers in America?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't farmers. It was It was a Korean factory that was supposed to employ Americans, and it was just full of Koreans who'd come on, you know, like tourist visas or something, and they just instead of and they were and instead of going on being tourists, they were working in this factory. Illegally, I might add. So, yeah. White collar crime almost, right? But still
Let's
illegal.
see.
It's no different than them having crossed the Mexican border. Out! All of you, out!
The American Soybean Association urged Trump to negotiate a deal with China to lift regulatory tariffs.
I don't think there's a future for soy. I mean, not that I shouldn't say that. I don't think that soy is something that's going to be like groundbreaking or world altering or it's not going to alter the diets of the planet at all. I just don't think so. As long as if the meat industry dies or dries up, for example, if cattle if it becomes politically incorrect to slaughter cattle anymore, then the soy
there's definitely a
will
big
have a
there's definitely a
chance.
big there's definitely a big meat industry or whatever.
Yeah,
But
if that were to die, then the soy would, of course, be king.
people are scared of like plant estrogens. They think plant estrogen converts into human estrogen.
I don't know
But
about that, but I do know that too much soy is not good for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like plant estrogen can convert into human estrogen, but it's very, very minute amounts,
I don't know. I didn't even know that plant estrogen exists. I don't even know what it is. Or that
But
it's
anyway,
yeah, whatever.
lots of crazy stuff happening.
Yeah.
Did you see the latest Epstein stuff with the book being released?
No, I don't really care about Epstein. He's dead. What's the point?
Well, Trump's implicated in all of this. Big time.
I've seen the bits that Trump is implicated in. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger. That's why I'm not interested in it anymore because it's a.
He says he was his best friend for 10 years. Epstein said there.
I did not see that. So then, you're gonna have to show me.
Well, you'll see it.
I have seen everything already. Come on, don't be that deep.
Not everything.
Obviously, everything.
The letter where he signed his name, where the bush would be.
I didn't see that. What are you talking about?
Buying a girl that he sold. Epstein sold to him.
Ah, please. That's all fake.
It's like 300,
fake.
230 something pages just released.
Yeah, no, I've seen the commentary on all those already, and it's all a nothing burger.
Well, they say it's not his signature.
It's not, but it's all of it is as fake as his signature.
We have people that study like signatures that can prove that sort of thing, like forensic analysis.
But I'm sure they're right on it, right?
Yep. Yep. Like we know Trump continued to use Epstein's plane during his presidency, his jet. Like this is so much.
You don't know that at all. You don't know why.
We got flight logs and books and all kinds of
Clinton, yeah. I think Trump flew twice, but he never went to the actual island.
Democrats aren't scared of the Epstein files coming out and implicating other Democrats. They want that.
Oh, I want that too. I want Republicans don't want that. I don't care.
But Republicans don't want that. They want to scrub the books.
I really want to know the truth about that Alan Dershowitz.
They want to release like a scrubbed version of it where it's only Democrats that went to Epstein's island.
Well, that's fine because Alan Dershowitz is Democrat.
But it's mostly Republicans. It's like 70% Republicans or something.
Alan Dershowitz was a Democrat until this year maybe, but he's been definitely a Democrat before. So I want to know about no one else but Alan Dershowitz in the Epstein files, because Alan Dershowitz claims absolutely nothing happened. He says yes, he got a massage because everybody gets a massage, but other than that, Nothing else happened. So, I'd like to know.
He's in that birthday book that was just released. 238 pages, scrapbook.
I didn't see his anything attributed to him yet.
Let's see. It says Dershowitz is listed under the Friends category alongside other prominent figures like Donald Trump or something. Yeah.
I don't know.
Who was it that said it was designed to enslave people, though, exactly? I forgot. I didn't quite.
That said what?
That, like, Christianity or whatever was designed to enslave people.
This guy says it.
But who's he claiming said that before?
Oh, geez. It's a known thing. There's been lots of. Good question. Hold on a second.
I didn't quite catch that.
Okay. Did he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if it was Jacques de Molay or somebody.
Yeah, he mentioned Jacques de Molay and some other guy.
He made the prophecy that I know he made the prophecy that like the Pope or and the King would be dead within the year or something like that.
Yeah, he said something like that. He did.
And it did come to pass, but something like that could be explained through like superstition. You know, if you feel like they cast a curse on you, you know, you could be so paranoid that it leads to your own death or something.
I guess, if you want to. But I'm not all that into paranoia.
You know what I mean? It's like curses are essentially messing with people's heads, making them think like something bad's gonna happen, and then it makes it happen in a way.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Like tomorrow you're gonna get in a car crash. I just know it. You know. Then you're like super paranoid when you're driving, and it causes you to like be erratic on the road and make you crash. You know.
I've never had that happen to me. Have you?
I just give him like a hypothetical, like that's sort of what a curse is, what I think of.
Mm.
It's like the evil eye. The evil eye goes back to people that gave you dirty looks, and it's like they're casting a curse on you. You know,
Oh yeah.
like an eye of envy, that envious or jealous or
No,
whatnot.
that's not my problem. That's somebody else's.
For like ancient people in the Middle East, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
So they wore the amulet to protect them from the evil eye.
Yeah. I don't
If you
know.
believe it, it's like a placebo effect kind of thing. If you believe it, it works in a sense.
I don't believe anything. I question everything.
If you're given a sugar pill and they say it'll cure such and such, and you believe it mentally, it can have a literal like a physiological effect just through the placebo effect, you know.
Well, it's a can. It's not a guarantee,
Hmm.
right?
But it shows there's some sort of mind-body connection, you know.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that.
Like you ever seen people that experience emotional pain? It can manifest into physical pain, like yeah, they get like their whole body aches or something.
Sure. It's normal, actually.
Like if somebody experiences depression or something, their whole organ systems can like shut down and
Well, it depends on how they handle their depression. If they all of a sudden decide to, they can't get out of bed, And when they do get out of bed, they can't do anything. All they can do is eat and eat and eat and eat ice cream or something bad for you, chips, and eat and eat
Yeah,
and eat. You know, the depression will cause their physical health to decline.
it's like a chain of events.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, the Templar stuff. It's just not well documented, you know? Like, there's all these different secret societies out there, and maybe they know stuff that we don't know, but
I thought it was
they
very
haven't
well documented.
they haven't like recorded it, you know, they haven't documented things very well, and so they can't present it to the public, you know? It's just their tradition or whatever that maintains this belief.
Right,
A lot of legends about around the Templars and whatnot.
right.
It's hard to know what separate truth from fiction in those circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we know, the victors write the history, right? Often.
That's what they're saying, isn't it?
We know that the church killed a bunch of Gnostics and burned their texts and all that, suppressed a lot of information. Christians burned the Library of Alexandria along with Muslim. You know, it took multiple attacks to finally decimate the Library of Alexandria because it was so huge, apparently.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah. Remember when they murdered Hypatia, this female philosopher lady that was brilliant?
No, never heard about that. Who's
Yeah,
this chick?
that's a crazy story.
Who is this? What? Hypatia? I've actually heard the name. I just don't know.
Yeah, she's a famous female philosopher, Greek philosophy.
Really?
This like Christian mob literally tore her to pieces in the streets. They ripped her body apart.
You sure they were Christians?
Yeah, yeah,
Bastards.
yeah. They can't stand a smart woman, you know.
Yeah.
All kinds of atrocities they've committed. The Crusades, you know, Inquisitions,
Bad.
the
Yeah. Bad shit.
witch trials, all kinds of stuff. And us atheists are the worst enemies of all.
Oh, really? Are we so dangerous? How are we so dangerous?
We're like Satan's spawn or something, you know, to them.
Oh, to the Christians?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's their. See, that's their problem, right? That's their problem, not a mine and your
You ever
problem.
read the book of Romans? Because that's like screed against.
No. I mean, if it's historical, I might have covered some of it, but if it's anything to do with scripture, which is to me is a waste of time, fiction, nothing. I don't read
Well,
stuff
it's
like
like it's sort of a history of what what they believe. That's what it's based on. Like Darth Dawkins, that's their favorite book, you know, because it's a whole screed against non-believers, saying like there's none of them are good. They're all wicked, and
that. I know, but that's fine.
it's like
You
that.
know, it's belief. It's got nothing to do with reality.
Well, it manifests in reality with what Christians
No,
believe.
yeah, but they say you got to believe. You got to have faith, right? If that's it, you got your faith, then you'll believe anything.
It affects how they treat us and see us and
Yeah,
demonize us 24/7. That's why we can never get
all the
political.
time, all the bloody time.
That's why we can never get political power and stuff.
We'll get it. We'll get it through this channel. Literally, if people congregate, if really strong Gnostic atheists congregate in this channel, and it gets
Hell yeah.
shared, just think, how far our message will go.
Hell yeah. On that note, I got something for you.
What's that?
I realized that metaphysics and supernaturalism both contain logical contradictions
Of course,
themselves.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, for sure.
To show you that, let's see how it works exactly. But basically, it's they're relying on empiricism while denying naturalism at the same time to get to reach supernatural conclusions or things, this other realm, the inaccessible realm, and that's sort of where the contradiction lies, I think. Let's see, how does it go? Let me find it.